And then also, to your point, like 30% of websites are accessible, and there are millions of people who would love to visit your website, but they can't because it's not accessible. Let's say I come to you and I say, Max, I have this website or I sell this product, and I want to make sure that my website is accessible to everyone. Like, what is the first steps you would give to someone? Like, how would you even start that journey?
Yeah, I love how you teed that up for me. Thank you very much there.
You're welcome.
It's 3%, not 30%.
3, okay.
Yeah, some people think it may be as high as 5, but that would be the absolute most liberal estimation of how much is accessible. And since new content is being added every day, it's hard to even stay where you're at, much less move forward and make it and have the percentages of accessible content go. So I start with a few things that aren't necessarily in the guidelines for accessibility, because I feel like if people start with these 3 or 4 things, it can help them before they even get to the nuts and bolts parts of accessibility. So the first thing is focus on the most important thing of your website. What is the purpose of your website, your blog, your podcast? Why do you want people coming to this particular location? And focus on that, and then eliminate anything that doesn't have to do with that. You want to create a process where people can quickly decide whether or not you have what they want to buy. They can decide the quality of your merchandise or the quality of your information if you're a coach or a consultant like myself, and they can quickly navigate towards making a purchase. Now, I know we all love to have stuff on our website that helps them spend more money, and that may be a cool thing to do after I've finished buying the first thing, after I've managed to get through the checkout process or managed to get through the process of booking a conversation with you, if that's your goal. So focus on the most important thing. And that's something I believe most webmasters would tell business owners as well. It's just not something usually associated with accessibility. After that, you want to have a simple design for your website. Pretty much anything that a webmaster will tell you would make your website prettier, more attractive, people on pages longer, has a potential accessibility issue with it. You know, whether we're talking about hover cards or modals that pop up to grab information before I can continue to your website. Lots of those things have potential accessibility roadblocks in them. And for that matter, lots of those things will even cause roadblocks to people who don't have a disability. So yet another reason to keep the design of your homepage and your other pages simple. And then take a minimalist approach. This is the third. There's one more. Take a minimalist approach. The fewer links, images, text that there is on your pages, the better. Because you see, when you use adaptive technology, whether it's somebody like me that's almost totally blind that uses a screen reader, or somebody with some vision that uses screen magnification, or people that have limited motor control, say they are paraplegic or quadriplegic, and they use mechanical switching devices, it takes us longer to navigate through information to find what we want to get to, or what you wanted us to come and find. So the less information per page, the easier and quicker we can navigate that and get through to the next process, and not get tired and frustrated and quit and think, well, is there somebody else who has a website that would be easier to navigate that can sell me the same stuff? So minimalist, if something doesn't need to be on your homepage, then it doesn't need to be there. And every item you can remove makes the navigation process quicker. And then the fourth thing that's part of the general advice I give people is design for keyboard access first. Because people using adaptive technology like myself, we don't generally have access to a mouse or to the mouse function. We can sometimes simulate mouse functions, but that's not reliable. And I can't tell you how many times I've gotten to the end of the form and just wasn't able to click that button to subscribe or to send them my money, because that last button was requiring an actual mouse click, which I could not replicate. So these are things that I would talk about as far as general items. Is there any of those 4 that you would like to comment on or ask me more about?
You know, actually, the last one you said about, I never even thought about this. Again, this is why I love having you on, because these are not issues I have to think about. They're issues you deal with on a daily basis. So it's a wonderful perspective. So I never thought about, I could be losing out on growing my email list or selling a product because my button has to have a mouse click. I never thought about that.